Would you rather just see the flame that left me here in outer space?
Thank you, everybody, for coming. Before we get into this beautiful, beautiful celebration of Rebekah's life, there are a lot of thank yous to be made, and we want to acknowledge Michelle Bosch back there from the warehouse for the beautiful, beautiful food they've brought, and DMU Music for helping us with this sound system. And Neil Alexander here for bringing his beautiful, beautiful music to us. So we're going to start with a little bit of Happy Birthday. And we'll move from the Happy Birthday into a beautiful family dance to honor and lift Rebekah's spirit up as we enter this celebration. All right.
Just trying not to forget.
who meant the world to Rebekah, and to whom Rebekah meant the world. And we're going to give him a moment here to catch his breath and get to his feet, and just acknowledge this incredible place that we're at. Washington's headquarters was Rebekah's favorite place in the world. And now that Rebekah has joined our ancestors, we can begin by thanking the ancestors of this land, the Lene Lenape, who cultivated it and guarded it for so many centuries. The first Palatine immigrants that came here, George Washington, and us, we are the continuation of that. May Bekah be illuminated and stand tall among these incredible ancestors of ours. I want to introduce Stephen Mahano. He is a beautiful, beautiful man, and he took very good care of Rebekah and loved her dearly.
First, I'd like to thank everybody for coming here today. I wish we were here for a better occasion. Today's her 23rd birthday on January 23rd. And everybody in the room, they met Rebekah through a variety of different experiences. You have her parents who've known her since birth, family and friends who've got to know her throughout the years, some people through campaigning, some people through work, and some people just walking around in the city of Newburgh. And that's the type of person she was. She would go up and talk to anybody without any fear, without any doubt. She would give everyone a chance regardless of how old they were, what they looked like, how they dressed, how they spoke. She was considerate of who that person was regardless of their background, because she was more interested in what they brought to the table. We have friends who are musicians or artists or in politics, friends who just work at the bar, friends who go to school, friends who are going to be doctors, friends who are going to be lawyers. There's a wide variety of people that she just touched and impacted. Like today, I don't know how many people came up to me and just started telling me about their story about how they met Rebekah. There was this one man in particular, Dan Kozak. Dan, raise your hand if you're still here. Alright. So Dan was actually Dan and Rebekah were the first two Bernie people in the city of Newburgh. And they met each other through Facebook, and they met at two houses. And Dan taught Rebekah how to canvas, how to phone bank, and go through the whole process back in 2015. And from 2015 to 2020, I think all of us know that Rebekah knocked on more doors in the city of Newburgh than anybody's ever knocked on doors. And when you meet Rebekah, you know exactly what she's feeling, what she feels, what she wants to do. She was a very expressive person. If she didn't like something, you could just see it on her face. If she was excited or happy about something. She was just a very happy person. It could be the smallest thing that you wouldn't even think about throughout your day, and she would pick it up and say oh, this is amazing, this is beautiful, and she she really enjoyed life. Every day she would post a picture of her just walking around in the city of Newburgh. She'd take her foot out, the sidewalks would be all cracked, and there'd be garbage and everything around it. This is gonna be a beautiful day. She was the only person who would ever do that. And I used to ask her, why are you taking so many pictures? Why are you doing all of that? But she left a lot of memories for everybody. And in the last couple of months, she got into printing out photos and creating all this photography and whatnot. And just like going through that, it's just like all these like happy moments and memories. And not a lot of people like take photos or remember those moments. Because I've been like going through my phone to like go through like different moments and memories. And like in comparison to Rebekah, I barely have anything. Like you could look through her entire Facebook or Instagram, and there'd be like days, you know, oh, we went out to eat here, we were in Washington D.C. here, and it was just like an autobiographical account of everything. And I think like moving forward, we should have like a deeper appreciation of like the day that we're here, the people around us, and the people we love, because you never know how much time you're going to have. And like the timing of everything that happened, like it's never a good time. But it was around Christmas, it was around New Year's, and Cindy came here from Japan to spend the holidays with the family. Jared was on leave and surprised his family, came back from California, and like she like posted this like picture and said like, this is going to be the best Christmas ever, and she was happy that Jared was there. Cindy was there, and she got to like spend time with her friends on New Year's, and we like were at New Year's Eve over at Terry's house, and all of her daughters were there. They were like wearing matching pajamas and whatnot. We were opening presents. It was really cute. So, like at the end, she was happy, and she was surrounded by everybody that she loved. It'll always be a tragedy, but we have to live with her memory that she was a happy person who enjoyed everything that life had to offer, even like the smallest things. Like if you go to her room, she has millions of things for whatever reason. And like one of her biggest fears is that if she were ever to move out, her father would go up there and like, this looks pretty good. How much should I go for this? How much could this go on Craigslist? And I would tell her like, no, don't worry. We can get like a storage unit. You can put some things there. And then if we like talked about like moving out, she'd like, okay, I have to ask you a serious question. Can I bring all of my stuff? And I would look at her like, are you, that's a little crazy. Because like she has like all these like band posters and all this merchandise, like cover up a whole wall in that house if you like put it together. But that's how she lived life. She would go to Goodwill, she would go anywhere, pick up all these little things. When we went to Washington, we was in Girard, we like stop at all these little shops, and she would just buy buttons after button after button, and she would wear them everywhere. She'd get all these like necklaces and keychains. And I would like to thank Gerard for hosting us at Washington, because that was like the first time that she like really got on an airplane and traveled. So I'm very thankful, Gerard. In terms of like the future and what she was going to do, she's going to go back to school, she's going to get her bachelor's degree, she wanted to get her master's, and I thought maybe she could have been a force in politics. Me and all of her friends, we were more excited about Rebekah becoming a candidate one day. Because she was like a really strong person. She wouldn't break, she wouldn't bend for anything. Like if you told her like Medicare for all isn't going to work, it's not going to function, she'd look you straight in the eye and tell you it is going to work, it's what we need, and this is how it's going to work. And she would know like the whole like Bernie Sanders platform basically. She knew it verbatim. She could tell you off the top of her head. And every day like there'd be the Bernie this, Bernie that. And like the first thing that she like talked about for this New Year's was like Bernie 2020, everybody, Bernie 2020. So if you guys do go out to the polls today, I'm going to make a little push for Bernie 2020. And I think all of you guys love Rebekah. in like some way, shape, or form. Everybody had a unique relationship with her. I love Rebekah. And even though she's not here anymore, it doesn't mean that you stop loving her. You still love Rebekah, because that doesn't change. So just keep her in your hearts. Never forget about her. And if you're having a down day, just think about what Rebekah would do. If you're having a down day, Rebekah would go to the store, buy your favorite candy, knock on your door, like, hey, what's up? How are you? And she'd like smother your face in candy. And if you didn't want it, she's like, you sure you don't want this? Or if you had candy, she'd come up to you, just like take a bite. Her mom knows that very well. I'm sure they're gonna miss like, maybe you guys were a little upset like that she like went to the ice cream and like picked all the nuts out of them. Then you'd open it up and like, oh my god, Rebekah was here. Just the little things. I could talk all day about Rebekah. But just live life as Rebekah's here. And if you feel like you're doing something that, you know, Rebekah would like be in your ear, like, don't do that. Like Kevin Darian, if you speak today, please don't scream into the mic. Rebekah hated that. Like, that was like the one thing she would always say, Kevin Darian, that was really good, but if you're going to speak into the mic, please don't yell. Armando? Kevin Darian.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today we gather to pay tribute and reverence to Rebekah's role, a person who filled our world with so much love and compassion. Rebekah was so many things to so many people, too many to even list here. But each one of us knows what she meant to us and how she made us all feel. My Rebekah was a fighter. Whether she was standing outside Planned Parenthood in support of women's rights to choose, or rallying against fossil fuel companies, Rebekah was fighting against injustice and inequality. She was fierce in her compassion and empathy for others. She was the most courageous and kind and loving person I ever met. She was the best of us, and fought for the betterment of all. My Rebekah was my moral compass. I had the unique pleasure of learning and growing with her these past few years. She was someone who we all admired and respected, and whose guidance was valued and trusted. She was unwavering in her commitment to social, racial, and economic justice. She always thought about those who were underrepresented, and always fought for the underdog. Perhaps that's why she loved Newburgh so much. She saw the beauty behind the despair. Rebekah fought tirelessly to help people find their own voice and to be the change we wish to see in the world. She is a reminder of the impact one person with energy and drive and commitment can have for the community and to the world. Her curiosity and encouragement motivated her friends, myself included, to try new things. No matter if you were doing photography, or dancing during open movement, or doing pottery, or skateboarding, which I actually did, or hula hooping, which I was really bad at. Rebekah's enthusiasm knew how to trick you to believe that you could do great and that you should just try harder, even though we really sucked at it. Rebekah spread her love of life with everyone. She never judged. She never discouraged. She would meet each person where they were, with a smile that displayed genuine love. My Rebekah was my inspiration. She inspired people to believe in themselves. She helped them to be the best versions of themselves, like she always was. Her selflessness as a community organizer made her exemplary. She never sought recognition. She never sought to be honored. She didn't count how many people she registered to vote. She didn't count how many corners she cleaned up. She didn't count how many people she impacted and helped. She did the work because she loved it, because she loved her community. There are so many lessons that she's taught us. Today, looking back and remembering all the beautiful moments that we shared together, when we come together to celebrate her being, her life, we must remember the value of time, the preciousness of time. Rebekah embodied forgiveness and compassion and love. She would have asked us all to be kind with ourselves and with each other. She would want us to care for one another and to come together as a community. There is no time to waste in waiting on or holding back. There is no time to hope that someone else will step up. Rebekah taught us that the time is now. It's time to step up. It's time to be better, to get involved. It's time to open our hearts and our minds and to love unconditionally, like Rebekah did. Newburgh loved her. We loved her. Newburgh, remember her always. Honor her memory for being more like she was. Let her life be the example of how we should be. If you didn't know her well, if you never got the chance to fully live within her life, I encourage you to talk to her friends who are here today, whether they knew her as a student, as a friend, or as a parent. And to those of you who did know her, be proud in knowing that you contributed to creating the most amazing woman that has touched so many lives. There will never be anyone like her. We love her. We remember her. And we'll continue fighting the battles that lie ahead in her name. Rise in power. I just want to introduce before I introduce you, I want to introduce someone that truly has been an extension of our family. You heard, she spent every waking moment that she had free knocking on doors, but the rest of the time she spent it with her friends. And there are a few people that she loved more than Terry. And we owe so much to that bond that we shared together. And Terry, you've always been at the center of that. So thank you for being here. Thank you, everyone.
Hi. So I'm not aware I was speaking today, so I don't have any papers. I want to start right off the bat just saying, give a hand to Stephen. It's strong and the maturity and the strength. Just in awe. I love you. I'm going to try to lighten things up before I go deep. My husband was walking at Adams the other day, and he saw something on the ground. He's always picking up garbage, and he picked it up, and it's the Mid-Hudson Times paper, Newburgh is an Angel. Just bizarre that he picked it up for the print. But when I saw it, I thought to myself, when Rebekah, if she would have seen that, she would have said, "What the fuck?" she would have. Like, Rebekah was not an angel. She was so much more complex and layered than that. And she was an angel, like angelic. I don't know if anybody got it wrong, because I'm certainly not an angel. And now I'm just going to ramble about things I'm going to miss about her. Stephen's right. You could read on her face what she was thinking. And nowhere more could you read it when I drug her to a Orange County Democratic Committee meeting. There's so many people just from that community who know her as only that pissed off board girl. And I could tell she was thinking, how did Terry talk me into coming here again? How did she do it? She would inevitably go to the car with Stephen, and either Kevin, Darian, or just me were running around talking, and she would send Stephen in to get us if she wanted to go home. It was just amused me at the meeting the other day that when I was talking, how many people, that's all they knew, was that girl who was always pissed to be there. I'm gonna miss that when Rebekah walked in my house, my dog is kind of a jerk and barks and bites people, and he would come up barking, and she would just pick him up, and she would be like, woo! And that dog would look at me like, what the hell, what's going on here? She just wasn't having it, you know, she just picked him right up, and that was the end of it. I'm gonna miss that I invited over for Steelers games, and she never watched 1 minute of the game. She either played with the dogs or played with the snake or food, but I don't think she ever watched a minute of any of the Steelers games, but she always came. I'm gonna miss that she took a million Instagram pictures with my dog with googly eyes, with glasses, with this, with that. I mean, I'm gonna miss, we spent an hour once in our backyard trying to teach my dog how to jump through a hoop. Who else? Who else is gonna do that with me? Who else would be silly? Like, she was just silly. Anything silly, like, I would share with her, she would share with me, like, just a silliness that I'm gonna miss. That's a big void for me. I miss that she would never take no for an answer. She would be like, try this new wine, and it was like, worst wine ever. I'm like, oh, no, it's okay. No, you have to try it. You have to try it.
It's really bad.
It's really bad.
It's really bad.
I'm like, oh no. So then I'm like, okay, just give it to me. I'm like, okay, thanks. Isn't it great? No. She had that snake, and my husband wanted nothing to do with touching that snake. She must have brought that snake to him 100 times. Just touch it. It's not slimy. It's not slimy. He's like, Rebekah, I don't want to touch this snake. Did you ever touch it? Nope. She lost one.
There's still time.
There's still time.
Still time.
Just things like that I'm gonna miss. And now I'm gonna go a little serious. So we're like, we got involved in politics. It's like formed this little family, and sometimes there's a lot of us in the room. Some of it was like a smaller group, but anytime there's a lot of big personalities. You know, you have Tori, you have Kevin Darian, you have me, and there's a lot of people quiet. You know, like my husband, who's not even involved in politics. He's just there for the ride because he's in the house.
He's got a lot around.
So anyway, so a lot of big personalities, and a lot of people like competing for attention. My husband says okay to share. He has a daughter, Rebekah's age, who doesn't speak to me. So he has that, and then, you know, I have 2 girls, but that's a messy relationship. Stepdad, you're not my dad, you know how that is. So it's a void in my husband's life that I didn't even realize that Rebekah was helping me with. You know, he would bring stuff. Okay, I remember he was like saving bottles when she was making pita, or when we're shopping. Look at this candy. Rebekah would like this candy. And I never really paid attention because, again, so many big personalities. So I should have known on Saturday, the Saturday that happened, I was in a little bit of trouble when he looked at all the young people, I try not to say kids, and he said, I'm going to tell you right now that she was my favorite. Out of all of you, she was my favorite. I was like, wow, is that appropriate right now? Right. So, you know, once everybody left the house and it was just him and I, and you know, I'm worried about Stephen, I'm worried about Eric and Tori and her parents. My husband just started he was inconsolable for 2 hours because, you know, she had paid attention to him. She had always feel like part of the crowd. She had always interested in what he had to say when, you know, other people were, you know, he doesn't even understand politics. You know, what he doesn't even know. She always he felt special being around her. I mean, just stuff like Stephen had to go to, I should have known. Stephen had to go to work earlier than her on a Sunday. She's like, can I come over to the house and just stay there till I have to go to work? Will you drive me to work? And my husband's like, well, you have to eat breakfast. You can come, but you're going to eat breakfast. And, you know, he like cooked her breakfast before he drove her over to. It was just what we can take away from this. Just the little things that you do to make people feel special, like how Rebekah made my husband feel with not loud about it, like nobody will. Just try to do, like, it matters. People might not tell, you might not realize how much you mean to people, but I mean, Rebekah meant so much to Steve, and he was the last person I was worried about being this upset. But here you go, he meant that much to him. So keep doing that. Keep being kind to people. People notice the little things. And Rebekah definitely was a person who would take the quietest person in the room and make sure that they had a voice and they were heard and felt special. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Hi everybody. My name is Ofra, for those of you who don't know me. And Rebecca and I did a lot of dancing together. And like many people, I didn't come with something prepared to say. I didn't even come prepared to dance. But I thought about Rebecca. And I kind of said, you know what? I'm not wearing the right shoes. And the grass is all bumpy. And I'm feeling really emotional. And Rebecca's voice in my head was clear. It was, you know, you're going to have to do it, Oprah. And you're going to have to find a way to smile and have fun while you're doing it. So I decided to dance as a way to speak to her spirit and tell her how much I love her. And how grateful I am for everything that she brought to my life. Rebecca was a real gift. And she just had so much courage. It's rare to meet young women who are just so fearless, to exactly the same extent that they are gracious and caring. And she brought all of that fearlessness and graciousness and love to so many of us. And she would want every single one of you to feel the freedom to take risks, to do things that your first reaction to would be, I'm not going to do that. Let Becca's voice come in there and see if maybe you can. Because one of the lessons that Bekah also taught us is that we don't have forever. And wow, did that young woman make good use of the time that she had. Just unbelievable. And we're charged with doing the same. We're charged with making the best use of the time that we have. And usually what holds us back from doing that are our fears and our insecurities. And I want to really reiterate what Terry said. Bekah was someone that could just, with a look, make all your insecurities melt. She could make you feel loved and important, and like what you wanted to do mattered and should be done. So when you hear that little voice come into your head, like, just let Bekah be right there, one step behind you, reminding you to do it. And Rebecca also, she didn't only remind us, she taught us how to care for one another and how to treat each other like family, no matter where we lived or where we came from or what life had brought to us before. That is what we need in the world right now. She was our leader. She didn't need a title. And you know, I know that her political views came down to that. How do we care for one another better? How do we treat each other like family? And we're left to answer that question. And I hope we can do that more and more as family. It is my incredible honor right now to introduce to you the woman who taught Rebecca how to treat others like family, even when they weren't her biological family. There is someone in Rebecca's life that taught her how to adopt other people and treat them as her own. And that woman's name is Cindy.
Oh, you cry. Hey, everybody. I am so amazed at all these people that has come together for Rebecca. I'm so happy to have met so many of you. who I've met. I mean, Rebekah, with every single story you tell me, it's just so amazing. I thought I knew her, and you guys have introduced a different person to me, every single voice that you have. I'm so happy I got to meet all of you, and it's no coincidence, because I mean, Rebekah would say, we're gonna go meet Gordo. You ready? We're gonna go meet Gordo. Gordo's downstairs, and I got my bike guard in, I took my contacts out, I got my glasses on, my pajamas. I'm like, I can't meet Gordo. She's like, oh, come on, you gotta come meet him. We're going to Terry's house, because you gotta meet Terry. Terry is like my mom, and we just gotta go over to Terry's house. Or every one of you, she talked to me about you guys, and I wished I had more time to spend with all of you with her. But I'm still here, and I'm gonna spend as much time with all of you as much as I can. And I have to apologize to Terry. I think that thing about just try a little bit. Yeah, even if you don't like, that was me. That was me. Rebekah's parents are all about meat and potatoes. Rebekah's parents are very stable, good people who teach the basics, and this is how it is. And I decided she's gonna learn more about this, and she's gonna try this, and she needs to get acquainted with trying things and knowing that everything is out there. And Rebekah and her two brothers, I don't know if they have a choice, but I'm definitely their family, whether they like it or not, and I'm gonna be there for them forever. I'm also thinking, Terry, that you said about how she wasn't an angel, and you guys have no idea. You guys don't know about how she tried to fry her goldfish in her toy pan. You guys don't know how she would purposely ask for broccoli because she knew Jared would start crying. She wasn't always an angel. She had her streak, but I've met her through all of you again. Thank you so much for that. Thank you very, very much. I just want you all to know that Rebekah was my love. There was 23 years ago today, we were in the hospital, and my mom was in the hospital. She'd been there for a while. She was dying from complications of rheumatoid arthritis, and I would run up and down the stairs and in the elevator and go to the maternity ward and go, oh, she's in the maternity ward, and come back up and it's a girl, it's a girl. And ever since then, she's been my angel, because a piece of my mom's soul, I feel, was transferred to Rebekah. And she's been my angel ever since. So I just want you to know that my best friend, Heather, I adopted her, whether you liked it or not. I'm sorry, but thank you so much for sharing her. And on that note, I'd like to present Rebekah's mom, Heather. So thank you everybody for coming and supporting my daughter. And this is Peter.
Everybody, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it.
Jared?
Could Jared and Paul please stand up? We'd like to honor Rebekah's family. Jared! The Marines have allowed Jared to stay with us here a little bit longer so he could be part of this celebration. So thank you also to the U.S. Marines for allowing that. There are many, many things that can't be said in words, and sometimes there are songs that can say them for us much better. So I just want to say that Amy was also someone who came to dance with us quite a bit, and we're really blessed to have her voice and her talent with us here today. Thank you so much. I just met Rebekah a handful of times, but I was struck by many of all the same things that you mentioned. Her sweetness and her light and her just her serenity. And when Oprah asked me to sing this song, I thought it's really appropriate because the woman that wrote this song, her name's Kate Wolf, and she was very committed to music and very committed to activism. So, good song for Rebekah. Kind friends all gathered round. There's something I would say. What brings us together here has blessed us all today. Love has made a circle that holds us all inside, where strangers are as family and loneliness can't hide. So you must give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. I walk these mountains in the rain, learn to love the wind. I've been up before the sunrise to watch the day begin. I always knew I'd find you, but I never did know how. Like sunshine on a cloudy day, you stand before me now. And you must give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to the tears and laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Love is born in fire. It's planted like a seed. Love can't give you everything, but it gives you what you need. And love comes when you're ready. Love comes when you're afraid. It'll be your greatest teacher, best friend you have made. So you must give yourself to love, if love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to tears and laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love. Love is what you're after. Open up your hearts to tears and laughter and give yourself to love. Give yourself to love.
So first, I just want to say thank you for that very, very beautiful song. That was incredible. I also did not know I was going to speak today, so please bear with me. I'm not good at this. I unfortunately did not get to know Rebekah for that many years. I've only known her for about 3 years. I wish it was longer. But I want to share a very personal story with how I actually became to know Rebekah. I was up at Geneseo about a week and a half before I graduated. I was struggling with depression and anxiety and stuff, and I tried to take my own life. So of course my mom took me home. She moved to Newburgh while I was at college, so I did not know the area at all. I had no friends there. I did not know how I was going to move forward with my life at all. And she went to Rebekah's job one day because she knew Terry, my mom. She went to Rebekah's job one day and she goes, listen, my daughter's coming home. I need you to be her best friend. Can you please do that for me? And Rebekah said, I got her, don't worry. And she absolutely did. I came home, she was there, I'm pretty sure the night that I actually came home, she was wearing a Marilyn Manson shirt on. I was wearing a Nine Inch Nails shirt. If you didn't know, Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails was who discovered Marilyn Manson. I was like, this girl, we're gonna be great friends. And the next day she took me, she showed me around the entire city of Newburgh. We went to Two Alice's. I think that's when I first met Oprah. And the way she spoke about the love she had for her city just made me instantly fall in love with the city myself. Like, I never felt so much love for the area I lived in, and she made Newburgh feel like it was my home. She introduced me to all her friends. We became this little political powerhouse family where we would constantly just argue in my mom's basement about all of our decisions that we had to make for Kevin Darian's campaign. And she was always the voice of moral reason in that room. When any of us would stray a little bit off the wrong path, she would be like, listen, that's ridiculous, stop it. And we all listened. I don't know if I ever told her how much it meant to me what she did for me when I came back from college. I had this whole support system that I still have today, and I'm so thankful for it because she introduced me to every single one of these people in this room. And I will never forget what she did for me. She was and I think that just shows the kind of person that she was. This complete stranger was in need, and she, without questions, was like, I'm going to love this person. I'm going to be there for her. And that's what she did. She was probably the most extraordinary person I've ever met, and she changed the entire trajectory of my life. I wish we spent more time together after I moved away, but I thought we had all the time, but yeah, I just hope she knew how thankful I was for that. And I would like to introduce Eric, one of the people she introduced me to, and I'm so incredibly honored and happy that she did that.
Hello, everybody. I also did not know I was going to speak today. There are so many things that everybody has already said about Rebekah that it just shows like who she was as a person. She was like somebody that I've never met in my life. She was so outgoing. She was so involved in her city. She loved her city. I lived in Newburgh for like 15 years after we moved, and you know, I went to school here, went to high school, and I guess I didn't really think much about my city until I met her. She showed me how much she loved Newburgh, how involved she was in the politics, how much she wanted to make a change, and how much she loved Bernie Sanders. And I was very struck by that because I never met anybody, especially at her age, like that. And I met so many amazing people through her. Everybody sitting in this room right now, I met through her, because of her. She really did change my life. Before I met her, I kind of just went to school and went home, did my homework, and that was it. I met her and everything kind of changed. I started going to rallies and protests. I ended up in Washington, D.C. with Stephen and Rebekah, leaving at like 3 o'clock in the morning on a bus. That's actually how I met Terry. You know, there's just so much that you can say about her, how caring she was, how selfless she was. And I miss her every day. Like the shirt says in the back, she would never tell you to be like you. She would tell you to be yourself and go make a difference and be the best version of yourself that you can be. I cared about her immensely. I thought she was the most amazing person I've ever met in my life. And I loved her a lot. Everybody who ever met her loved her a lot. Thank you.
Be up here myself. I'm a hooper, but I'm not a performer, ironically. I'm not that good at this. My name is Heather Davies, and I founded Small Tribe Hoops like 5 or 6 years ago, and every year we do Newburgh Illuminated. You guys heard of it? And in 2016, that was the year that the main stage was like on the corner of Broadway and Liberty, and it was kind of like kitty cornered, and we didn't have the rich stage yet. It was still kind of small and like chill, and there weren't 40,000 people there. And we had Jackie set us up on the corner, and it was a great, super fun year. And I met Bekah that year. She came through later in the day, and she had some of her homies with her, and she wanted to try it. And so I was like, I did my thing, like, here's a couple sizes, come behind the booth, you don't have to be right in the middle, you can kind of be back here. And she just, like, everything I showed her, she was like, pro. And I was like, whoa, okay. Some people have it like that. Some people just pick it up and, like, they got it. I wasn't one of them, but she was. And, anyway, I encouraged her to come to hoop class, which I had every week at that time, and so she came. And we got to know each other, and we got to know how magical she was. You guys all know how magical she was. And then, in the hoop world, and in this, like, so many people are like, hey, you want to come do a thing? I'd be like, sure. And so there was always a big ask, like, hey, hoopers, can you guys come do this parade? I can't afford to pay you, though. Can you come do it for fun? Can you come do this photo shoot? You want to come to this hoop jam? There's always, like, something. And she showed up for everything. And she showed up for me in my personal life. Like, my daughter is 8, and I'm, like, real wolf mama about who she hangs out with. And Bekah is one of the very few people who I trusted to watch Evie, and she used to come watch her, like, in a pinch. I needed somebody to come over for like 45 minutes and get her off the bus and just like hold it down, and she would do it, and for almost nothing. Evie has this little beautiful fairy statue that Bekah gave her, and she sleeps with it next to her. And I was like, can I borrow this for this altar I'm making? And she was like, well, I need it tonight, but you can borrow it tomorrow. I was like, okay. Thank you. And anyway, my whole point is really, it just echoes what, everybody else said, which is I'm so lucky I got to get to know her through this, like, hoop and movement avenue, and y'all know her through whatever avenue of life you're on. And we're all just damn lucky that we got to know her while she was here. And I don't know what else there is to say. So, anyway, Small Tribe is going to do a thing. We are performing to Marilyn Manson's Flowers of Evil, and I never sound checked, so I'm going to do that now real quick.
They cover us in the dirt, like stars in the ground that will grow into dead flowers. The day they come. sleepless spiders. Your touch is so empty. Your touch is so empty. Your body's on me like sleepless spiders. Your touch is so empty. 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 I've been running from the bloodless for bitterness I held for all of my sorceries. Show us the light. Show us the light. I've been running from the bloodless for bitterness I held for all of my sorceries. Show us the light. Show us the light. They covered us in the dust, like scars in the ground that will grow into dead flowers. They covered us in the dust, like scars in the ground that will grow into dead flowers.
I don't know if any of you noticed the letter up front. I'm just going to read it. Dear Peter, Heather, Jared, and Paul, I am so sorry to learn of Rebekah's passing and write to extend my sincerest condolences. I understand that Rebekah was particularly connected to the movement we began together in 2015. I am grateful for her dedication to doing all that she could to make this world a more just place, especially her beloved community of Newburgh, New York. As I travel all over the country, it is young people like Rebekah who inspire me most. I will carry her memory with me as we continue our shared fight for the issues she advocated for, such as a student loan debt relief, immigration justice, and getting more people engaged in the political process. She will be dearly missed in this movement. Senator Bernard Sanders. Going natural, feel the burn.
Is there anyone who was not sure if they wanted to speak earlier, who's feeling called to speak right now? Come on up, Stephen. While Stephen is making his way up here, I just want to acknowledge Amy Susie again for that beautiful song she offered us. And Marcel, my amazing, amazing partner, who brought that song to us on the Monday of Rebekah's passing and really brought us together and reminded us to stay in love around it. Come on up, Stephen.
Thank you. Just want to say happy birthday, Justin. Right there, today's my man Justin's birthday too. I know if I got to see his birthday. I just want to say that I've been in Newburgh for, it was 3 days before my 18th birthday when I first moved to Newburgh. I was living right where I'm living now in the Bourne and Kenny apartments. But for about, up until last year in January, on Rebekah's birthday and Justin's birthday is when I met Rebekah. And just from then to now is literally when I can say I started becoming like a member, or I felt like I was a part of Newburgh. I didn't do anything in this city. I didn't know anyone in this city. I went to work in Rockland and I came home every day for about 4 or 5 years. And I got into a lot of trouble back in 2018 My whole life had to change. I lost everything. I lost my job. And I already knew Justin. And he invited me over to hang out with him for his birthday. That day, I kind of re-met Darius, Daquan, Kiara, Marco, Damien, you know, the list goes on. But last year, January 23rd, is when I began becoming a member of this city. Slowly but surely, I met Steven, helping out with the campaign. You know, not as nearly as much as they were, but knocking on doors and going to these city council meetings and just learning what having great people felt around. I'm talking about I lost all my friends. And now I have more friends now than I did then, out of all the years that I was living in Newburgh. I got into a real bad car accident back in September on my way to court on the 19th. And the first person at the hospital was Rebekahs. I woke up in a brace. I busted out, rejected, my lungs, ribs messed up. She was there, she brought me food. And mind you, I'm skipping a lot because I have a lot to say, but this is kind of like nearing how when we were deep in our friendship. But every moment I could think of kind of piggybacks off of what everyone was saying. You can always tell how she would feel. She wasn't a bullshit artist. There was never a moment in your life where you felt, maybe Rebekah feels like this. You know, you knew how she felt. And just knowing her, knowing the people that I was blessed to meet because of her, has made me a better human being. It's made me a part of Duncan. And I'm very proud to have met the people that I've met, especially Rebekah. I want to say happy birthday, Rebekah, Justin. I love all of you guys. It's a pleasure to meet all of you in this process. And I'm new, like I'm really new. And this is an honor to be able to be a part of all of you great people and meet y'all. And obviously, despite the circumstances while we're all here, but you all know what I'm saying. Thank you.
Hey everyone, my name is Christine, and it's hard for me to admit that I never met Rebekah in person. Because when I heard of her story, I grew up here in Newburgh, but when I heard of her story, it was like accompanied with a tidal wave of love, compassion, like basically all of the feelings that you feel for her. And I had that voice in my head that doubted whether or not I should reach out and offer to sing a couple songs. And like you said, it was almost as if she came in and said, this is what, you know you have to do this, Christine. So I want to thank you for allowing me to self-invite and hear a couple of songs that I feel resonate. So shake, 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 shake. Ooh, in all my days, I never been so misplaced. Would you rather to see the face that left me here in outer space, yeah. Lying solo in a Bekah. Don't cry for me, I'm a big girl. I do big things. I make hearts sing all over. I'll get off here, I'm sober. I can see clear. This is heartbreak. Watch my soul shake, shake, shake. Watch my soul shake, shake, shake. This ain't heartache, this is heartbreak. And it made my soul shake, shake, shake. Watch my soul shake, shake, shake. Made a mistake, this is heartbreak, yeah, yeah. I'm in the same place you left me. There's something I'm neglecting to see. Typical me, yeah. You know I don't regret things. Just
try not to forget me, okay? This is my birthday, my birthday. Now you're showing up in the big girl. Don't cry for me, I'm a big girl. I do big things, yeah. I make her sing, roll over. I'll get off it, I'm sober, I can see clear. This is heartbreak. Watch my soul shake, shake, shake. Watch my soul shake, shake, shake. This is heartache. This is heartbreak. And I made my soul shake, shake, shake. Watch my soul shake, shake, shake. Make no mistake. This is heartbreak.
Thank you. If it's okay, there's one more that I'm inspired to get. This one's called Mountains Away. It burns my heart. I hope you're way to keep it. You're way to keep it. So if we drift apart, at least we got our secret, a little secret. Why don't you start, unless you're ready to feel this? Yeah, cause my love will take you from the floor right on up to the ceiling. I miss you now that your mountains away. Can I see you on memory lane? I know somehow though your oceans away, that I'll see you on memory lane, on memory lane. I swear I've known you before. The memory is strong, and it's about to take form. So tell me, are you ready to feel this? It's time to explore. That's what eyes are for. So let my love take you from the floor right on out to the ceiling. Baby, I miss you now that your mountains away. Can I see you on memory lane? I know somehow though your oceans away, that I'll see you. I wanna see you now. When your soul's about to break, my love will save the day once you stay with me. And never let darkness take my place. I'll tell you when to fly. I need you now that your mountains away. Can I see you on memory lane? I know somehow though your oceans away, that I'll see you. I wanna see you now. When your sword's about to break, I swear my love will save the day. Won't you stay with me? Never let nothing take my place. I'll tell you when to fly. I'll tell you when to cry. Let me tell you when to fly. I want to thank him so much for allowing me to perform, and Kevin, you said something earlier that resonated with me. You said that she's the best of us. And I feel that. And, you know, you always put your best foot forward. She led the way, and it is our job to follow. And I've always wanted to do more for the city I grew up in. So please keep me a part of it. I'm here now. And thank you.